There are new details this morning about the hero dad who tried to save his 5 children trapped inside their burning home before perishing in the fire. Live to Georgie Chumbley on Russell Island this morning. Georgie, he ran back inside.
Good morning, Nat. That's right. We know that Wayne Godinette and his partner Samantha Stevenson were sleeping on the ground floor of their Queenslander. When they smelt smoke, they managed to get themselves outside. But when Wayne realised their 5 little boys were trapped upstairs, he ran back into the burning building. And we understand that his body was found with those little boys trying to get them out. He also alerted a woman in her 20s, a relative of his partner's, to the fire, and she managed to get out of the building. He saved her as well. Now, Sam Stevenson, the mother, remains in Redlands Hospital in a stable condition physically. She was unharmed, but of course she is suffering extreme emotional distress. We believe that police haven't been able to conduct a formal interview with her at this stage, but they have been able to corroborate that story. Now, what is unfolding here on the island is a growing memorial for the 6 people who have died, and devastatingly, some young friends of those little boys have left things like Xbox controllers and teddy bears as they grapple with this unimaginable tragedy. Nat?
Thank you, Georgie. Here's Shervo.
Thanks, Nat. A homicide investigation is underway this morning following the deaths of 3 people after they ate toxic mushrooms during a lunch in Victoria. Live to Tegan Doling in Melbourne. Tegan, a woman has been questioned by police.
Yeah, good morning, Shervo. The homicide squad have taken over this investigation as they probe as to whether this was a tragic accident or, in fact, if it was something more sinister. Now, the couple got together Sunday weeks, 8 days ago, at a home in Leongatha, which is down in Gippsland, and it's presumed that they've eaten this poisonous mushroom. Now, they were sisters, Gail Patterson and Heather Wilkinson, and their husbands, Don and Ian, very well known down in the Gippsland community. They were teachers, and Ian is even the local pastor. Now, he is still fighting for his life in hospital. The other 3 sadly have died, and their families have put out a statement saying that they were siblings, children, grandparents, parents and pillars of faith in our community. As you said, a 48-year-old woman was taken away by the homicide squad. She was questioned, but she has been released, Shervo, at the moment without charge.
Thank you, Tegan.
Let's get some more news now. Here's Eddie.
Thank you, Nat. Good morning. A car has been found engulfed in flames on a highway outside Dreamworld on the Gold Coast. Emergency crews were called to the scene shortly before 1:30 a.m. Firefighters fought the blaze, which had almost melted the engine. Luckily, no one was injured. Witnesses say they saw several teenagers flee that scene, and sniffer dogs were brought in but found no tracks. There are growing calls to scrap an archaic tradition in New South Wales that gives bank employees an extra day off. Let's go live to Liam Tapper in Sydney. Liam, it's a public holiday, but not for the public.
Oh, exactly, Eddie. And these bankers, they're cashing in. I can tell you what, these concerns, they've been growing for some time now. This bank holiday, it goes back 150 years, all the way back to the UK, back in the 1870s. That's how long this has been in place for. But businesses, along with the opposition here in New South Wales, they want it scrapped. They're raising concerns about the fact that thousands of bank employees here in New South Wales, they won't be coming into work today. However, everyday Aussies, regular people who are forced to go to work in the grips of a cost of living crisis, where they're facing higher bills, higher electricity, higher mortgages in so many ways, that they're forced to go to work today. But it's the banks who they won't be in, along with the RBA even, the workers here in New South Wales, they won't be going in. Now, when this was put to the New South Wales government, Eddie, well, it's bad news for the public, because they say they've got no interest in changing bank holiday.
Thank you so much, Liam. The ACT's chief prosecutor is out of a job this morning, resigning after a scathing report into his handling of the Bruce Lehrmann rape trial was leaked. Let's go live to Rob Scott in Canberra. Rob, he has criticised the findings of this report.
He has, Eddie, not only criticising them, but outright rejecting them. Now, Shane Drumgold accepts his position is untenable and he has agreed to resign. That's before the ACT government was able to hand down its response to the Sofronoff inquiry, which found that he lied to the Supreme Court and engaged in grossly unethical behaviour and serious malpractice. Findings that Mr Drumgold will not accept. In a statement, he says, "While I acknowledge I made mistakes, I strongly dispute that I engaged in deliberate or underhanded conduct in the trial or that I was dishonest. Now, Mr Drumgold may have quit as head prosecutor, but he could still find himself in a courtroom, this time as a defendant, possibly facing a charge of attempting to pervert the course of justice. And the ACT Chief Minister, Andrew Barr, is now under mounting pressure to clarify if he'll launch an inquiry into Mr Drumgold's previous criminal cases. Eddie?
Thank you so much, Rob. A German company has made a bid to build a $5 billion fleet of corvette warships for the Australian Navy. The owner of NVL met with Defence Minister Richard Marles in recent days about the proposal to build 10 corvettes, which it claims will make our Navy faster than any competitor. Marles will wait for an independent review set to be released in September before he can make a decision. A Victorian MP forced to resign from the Labor Party over serious assault allegations is refusing to quit state parliament. Let's go live to Nathan Curry in Melbourne. Nathan, he's staying on.
Yes, Eddie. Will Fowles says he plans to continue representing the electorate of Ringwood and says he is shocked and distressed by these allegations, which aren't true. The Premier, however, believes the person that has come forward and has made this complaint and says it is now unacceptable that Will Fowles continues to represent the Labor Party. On the other hand, the MP says his decision to stand aside is only temporary and plans to come back. So plenty to play out on that front. The Premier has referred this matter to police, but for any criminal investigations to be kicked off, the alleged victim would have to make an official complaint to them. Eddie?
Thank you, Nathan. Pope Francis has ended his 5-day trip to Portugal by presiding over a massive open-air mass for more than 1.5 million people. The mass marked the grand finale of the World Youth Day festival. Thousands of those attending slept outdoors, having attended a vigil the night before. The Pope also announced that the next World Youth Day will be held in South Korea in 2027.